Alright, folks. We're back in it. Let's get started, shall we? No confirmation we're live yet, but it's been over a minute, I'll trust it. There we go. Got my water. There's the confirmation that we're live. Let's do this. Wait for it. Can't interrupt this part of the zone. Okay, we're good now. Alright. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to, like I said, another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. Continuing, finally into patch 3.5, which is officially titled The Far Edge of Fate, which is why I've titled my stream that way. I didn't want to, title every new stream I did based on individual patches, so I just went with the significant ones. This one is significant because it is the very last one before, the next expansion. So, I was like, well, let's just use that title for when we're approaching the next expansion, even if I was still on 3.4 yesterday. But yeah, 3.5 now. Diving right back into the MSQ. Picking up exactly where we left off. I'm still on Mordona, good. Won't take long. Just put on my busy status, restart New Game Plus mode, and then we go. Audio looks good. Always gotta do your double and triple checks. Holy shit, Aiden Larkin, hi! That was quick. I just went live like 3 minutes ago, literally. Hope you're having a good day, afternoon, evening, or morning. I appreciate you coming by. Dun, 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 dun. Is this running right? Okay, yes, this is right. Okay, good. Always gotta do last minute double checks and triple checks for everything, because I learned my lesson quick, alright? My very first stream was a Kingdom Hearts stream. Just a random one. I wasn't even doing a story playthrough. It was literally a test stream. And I'm glad I did it when I did. And it's still on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. It went haywire the moment I started because I literally had, unbeknownst to me, my microphone was muted the entire stream, and it was like an hour and a half stream. So it was literally just me doing this. Wait, I did, sometimes I mute, but I'll just mimic it. It was literally me just going, well, not so much hand movement, because obviously I was playing the damn game, I had control in my hand, but yeah, it's just me just going, just the whole fucking video, you can see it right there. It was, but that's why I did it again. I did it to test, you know, to see if I knew what I was doing, to see if it would work. And I was streaming directly off the PS4, actually. Back then. So. But, even though I switched to OBS on my computer and got a proper capture card after that, I still make sure now to do double, triple, you know, audio checks, make sure audio's going through, make sure the video feed's correct. Sometimes I'll even open up my stream on my phone during the stream. You guys have seen me do that. You can't get lazy with it, because before you know it, you're talking to yourself and no one can hear you because you're muted. Or just something else. Like, oh, well, I mean, for those who were here for Final Fantasy X, the greatest, most clutch blitzball match of my entire career, and you guys saw none of it because I fucked up. I forgot to switch back to the game video, and yeah, now all you can do is imagine it in your mind as you hear me freak out about it, and see me freak out about it. You can still see my webcam. My webcam is fine, so you can see me freak out about it. But you will not see the game footage. It's forever out of reach. Because yeah. If I would have been playing that on PS4, PS5, I could have easily just, you know, hit the share button, you know, save recent gameplay, do the full, last 60 minutes, saved. But I was playing FF10 on PC, so it's gone. And even though I redid that whole section, when I redid the Blitzball match, it wasn't the same. We won, well, I think our first reattempt, I lost horribly because it requires luck for that particular match. Like afterwards, when it becomes just side content, you can build your roster and you know, play intelligently and whatever. But for that first match, there's a lot of luck, even if you know what you're doing. Even if you know the cheese strat, which I used. Which is why that first attempt that I actually beat it on was so clutch and amazing. Second attempt, yeah, I lost almost immediately. And then third attempt, I won by like a landslide. It was not even a competition, so I was just like... You couldn't recreate that kind of greatness, man. It might never happen again. So yeah. That's why always, if you're a streamer, always double, triple check. Make sure your audio, your video's going through. Everything. Don't cut corners, because you never fucking know. Anyway, back into this. Coltonate, what's up with you, man? And there I was worried about how to brief Papalymo on the many momentous events which we have borne witness to in recent memory. Little did I know I need only leave Hori to it. Oh yeah, is he rambling? What's going on? So, Alfino, we all know he's got his mind made up. The Crystal Braves are no more. It's all over. Bam! You haven't got to go home, but you can't stay here. But Real, he's not having it. Won't even let old Alfie finish. So he is rambling like me. How's Papalymo taking it? My word, Leon, I must confess to some considerable amazement at the great trials and tribulations you and the others have recently overcame. I think that should have been have recently overcome. If he left out have, he could have just said recently overcame, yeah. I must again apologize for our look at me, policing proper English and grammar. Gives a fuck. Anyway, I must again apologize for our prolonged absence, and for the fact that we have yet to answer your many questions. As for Ida, well, all things in time, I suppose. Well, at least he's not tired of Hori's rambling. He appreciates it. But yeah, Ida's all by herself over here. You okay, Ida? Oh. I guess I was just so caught up in thinking about, well, everything that I dozed off for a moment. The Griffin's words are echoing in her head. She can't help but sympathize a little bit with his reasoning, huh? I've been thinking, Leon, when time allows, we should go and pay a visit to Gabu with Alize. Though their time together was short, I know she felt a kinship with the young child. Yeah, she felt really bad for him. Like, she in particular felt really bad for him, losing his parents the way he did and everything. And... Oh, that's right! This is the cliffhanger from last night. The little squirrel. What's the story here? What's going on with this little buddy? Are you flirting with Lemon again, Thancred, or what's going on? I told her everything that happened. She needed to know, and I thought it would be best if it came from me. Oh yeah. Minfilia. Feels bad, man. It's strange to think back on the circumstances of our first meeting. We were all so very young. So foolish, so powerless. Back in 1.0? Yeah. Anybody gonna say anything about the squirrel over there? In that moment she departed this realm for the first, I heard her speak to me. I know this to be true, just as I know that she will one day return to us. In those final moments, she was smiling, was she not? She was proud and hopeful and looking to the future. So I will too, Leon. I will... She's trying to remain optimistic, but you can tell she's still very worried. As any mother would be. For her child, basically. And again, to clear up confusion, adopted, of course. And Philly's a here. Not a cat girl, so... Adoptive child. But nonetheless, she carries the same love for her as any other mother would for their child. It's not as though I do not enjoy the company of so many motivated youths. However, without Isildur around, I cannot help but feel somewhat isolated. You feel a bit left out because of the age difference, right? He got carried away with his training, lest you wonder, and injured his back. Alianne has been looking after him ever since. Oh, I see. That's why they're not here. Explains it. Anybody hiding in the corners, or is it just the Coomer group over here talking with Alize after they introduced him? The Coomer group. What's your take on this, Alize? It's a bit overwhelming. Quite frankly, having spent so much time on the road, often by myself. Yet, I will try to approach this as a learning experience as I did my travels. Had I not kept an open mind, after all, I doubt I would have been able to master the ethereal blade. Nor would I have benefited from the rather pointed advice I received. What's she referring to? There is no one path, as some are given to say, and there is wisdom in exploring every school of magic, as there is in exploration of other things. Of all things, sorry. That's right. Alize revealed her newfound red mage abilities. Apparently she learned that on the road somewhere. That was their way of, so much happened during those scenes that I couldn't really talk about this, in the story. Like a lot of story stuff happened, so got sidetracked. But that was their way of revealing that red mage was going to be a job class in the upcoming expansion. They revealed it in 3.4. They teased it, I guess, through Alize by her pulling out that sword from her book. So that was pretty cool. What order should I talk to them in? Let's go with Osher first. I'm gonna go this way. Believe me, I know all too well the burden that is a precocious sibling. We should trade tales over a drink sometime, or perhaps even with the four of us. I seem disconnected from what Alice is saying, but I guess you can just pretend they're talking about siblings, Alf, Hey, Nor, what's up with you? But I have a precocious sibling too, and I'm sure she'd be happy to join us. Actually, if you knew what your sister's been thinking for the past few months, she wants nothing to do with you and Osher or Hori Boulder. Holy shit. Oh, as if you wouldn't try to get rid of me at the first opportunity. Don't you drag me into this mess. She said in her own way. Tidings from Giribania. Well, let's do it. Ah, Leo, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. You're familiar with Rowena's House of Splendors, aren't you? Wait for me at the Diamond Forge and I'll be along shortly. Actually, I didn't know that's where I was, actually. To be honest, I didn't know. Okay, sometimes just doing that can change the dialogue of some characters, but... nothing there. Oh, down here, actually. Oh, right here. Alright. Why here, though? What's she gonna do? I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Why? What are you gonna do? What the hell? I don't like that look. Why are they looking at me like I'm a piece of pizza? Alright, everyone. Ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. Oh my god, that evil look! Get away from me! Jesus. Ow. That was so late. I gotta get that proper soundboard. Computer loaded that clip so slow. Anyway. There! All finished. The Warrior of Light's every measurement, from heroic head to intrepid toe. As long as you're actually talking about my toes, not something else. Remember, she said every measurement, alright? That's a little sus, so, Yeah. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Leon, all in good time. Oh, because I'm wondering what the fuck she did that for? Well, if you're taking some of the measurements, it's usually to make clothes, so it's not that hard to figure out. Aha! Found you! I guess it makes sense. She has made new outfits for everyone else, right? Well, at least Alphino and Alize. Maybe she wanted to make one for me too? Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting. Alright, thanks for beating the shit out of me and taking my measurements at the same time, I guess. Whatever the hell happened during all that. Oh, this might be voiced. Most likely.
We're
Yep.
here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphonse, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
That is a very smart idea.
Is that all? Well, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Well, maybe you lacked the qualities back then. That doesn't mean you do now.
Should none of our numbers step forward? Must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the
In
position?
which case, it's gonna be you anyway.
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Right.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! You're... Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Y'shtola! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. Ah, but I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Lim-Solaminsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Kryl, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Gyr Abania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice.
Always.
'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
That's life, isn't it? We all make choices. I hate leaving Naga like this, but I know Kryl and Tatara will take good care of her. After conferring with Y'shtola, we've decided to focus our attentions on the East Shroud. Someone needs to keep an eye on the border, not to mention the Sylphs. Your old stomping grounds. Tatara and Kryl took that resistance fighter to more private chambers that she might recuperate in peace. The poor girl was in quite a state, wasn't she? Yeah, she was fucked up. Kinda cute too, but fucked up. Like, she got injured. I wonder what Isildur would have to say about our wounded visitor. His own injuries yet keep him abed, and I miss savoring a cup of tea alongside his usual observations. Yeah, you guys do get along. Okay, so what's going on here? Even when casting the same incantation, the mastery of each practitioner greatly affects the efficacy of the spell. A principle that was aptly demonstrated to our two young mages here. Makes sense, yeah. Your mastery being, well, for us, the players of this video game, your mastery would be reflected as the level of your character, of course. And the way he's describing it, of course. I suppose your gear affects your stats too, but strictly from his point of view, he's just referring to your character's level. We have some training in the healing arts, so we shall take turns with Mistress Kryl in caring for her patient. Osher in particular seems rather eager to learn from the experience. He is a healer. Mistress Kryl and Archon Y'shtola are truly exceptional healers, and 'twas an honor to witness their ministrations firsthand. If only I could tend my brother's battle hurts with such proficiency. I have much study yet ahead of me. Speaking of your brother, I believe she said her name was Minago? Her cause appeared to... I think the M is silent, that's why they just said Nago. Her cause appeared to have been genuine, but I must confess to feeling no small degree of trepidation, even as I stepped aside. You're a little nervous around her? We were all surprised by our sudden visitor, but Hori was able to gauge the situation at a glance. He realized that Mikote posed no immediate threat and permitted her to enter. But that didn't mean he wasn't alert for some manner of trap. Ah yes, mayhap the Elder is the finer man after all. See? Her mind is still there. She's still trying to decide if she wants one or the other or both at the same time. Good to see she's consistent. What's her name again? Aner, yeah. I don't think we even need to... Yeah, we can skip the loading screen. Well, now she's especially considering Hori instead, just because, what's it called? Tribune, right? No? Forgotten Night, there we go. Now she's especially considering Hori because of the fact that she had that little bit of a... Well, I'm assuming because she had a little bit of a tiff with, Osher. When he was, like, scolding her for not concentrating. She's like, it's just, I can't stop thinking about you and your brother and the three of them. Like, Jesus. She's too, where's the best place to stand for this? I was talking to Emmerich, I'd stand where she is. But she's off to the side, so, well, fuck it. Greetings, warrior of light. What business brings you to Ishgard? I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emmerich. I like standing in that spot when I come to talk to them. I don't know. Oh shit, I thought it was going to be voiced. It is good to see you, my friend. It is but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Ala Mhigo to our attention. Ishgard will, of course, send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? Do what you gotta do, man. Politics, I know. I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handelope that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Leon, pray accompany Lucia to the Gates of Judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury, speed you on your way. Tidings from Garabania. Well, we got the first quest done finally. 30 minutes in. It's gonna be a long ass stream. Nah, I can't help myself. My commentary, but also the fact that I like to speak to the extra NPCs at the Rising Stones. An envoy for Ishgard. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the Gates of Judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Lead the way. Like she said. You are perhaps wondering who will represent Ishgard at the council? As this is a military matter, I should not be surprised if Sir Emmerich nominated himself. He is yet Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, after all. True. Well, let's wait and find out. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. I concede that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. Hey, you're honoring your new government. It's cool, man. I trust you understand, my friend, of course. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Not a bad idea. So in order for this to make a little bit more sense, to put this, what's happening in the story right now, into better context, Girvania is over here. This is all Garlean occupied territory. Perthus, right here, and the Black Shroud right here. Let me zoom in a little. So obviously Girvania is closest to, you know, the Twelveswood, the Black Shroud, Gridania. But Cressus is just north of it if you count these mountains as part of its territory. See, Abalasia's Spine? So technically both of these, you know, Ishgard and Gridania, are the closest to Girvania, and therefore the first ones to likely get hit in an Imperial invasion if they retaliate to what everyone suspects is going to happen. So, see. Anyway. And of course this is, you know, the easternmost part of Perthus, and Ishgard is right here. Abalasi's Spine starts right here. It goes this way, so. I am glad that Sir Emmerich's counterpart saw the wisdom in his coming. Few, if any, in Ishgard can claim to possess his expertise in both politics and warfare. Oh, really? The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Leon? You may see a familiar face. Well, now I'm extra curious. Who is it? Oh, no way! Leon, old boy? How wonderful to see you! And Sir Emmerich, too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? Watch, it's probably not even him. I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once. If you'll excuse... Okay, never mind, it is him. He runs this place now instead of Harshwant, huh? Nay, do not trouble yourself, Honora. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Damn, this guy's come a long way since the Grand Melee, right? I'm proud of him. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to a to an Imperial. Good thing you remembered Lucia as a Garlean. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel in the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. He's actually putting in work. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm? Very. Excuse me. You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Yeah. The portrait's still there, too. Just dawned on me how weird it is he had a portrait of himself right behind him. When he was leading this place. Yet, we can but play the hand we're dealt. And with a little help from the veterans and Honora's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you. Alright. Take it easy. Oh wait, my hometown, I can teleport for free. Once every like 10 minutes or something, whatever it is. I bid welcome to our visitors from Ishgard. seems so peaceful. One would scarce believe that Belsar's wall and wretched Alamigo lie but a few short malms away. Right? Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when first I laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. Very true, sadly. What Lucia said, though, yeah, it's quite interesting how even just a simple wall can have so much contrast on either side of it, right? Despite the geographical closeness, for lack of a better word. Proximity, I guess. Okay, can change this then. Okay. Oh. How would you target that pull way over there? An allied decision. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Oh yeah, but it's also kind of where the government of this place, you know, sort of resides, so... Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Going that way. They can take the long way if they want. Conjurer's Guild, there we go. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived? Very good. This way, if you put... Ah, and the Leminson party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Leon, I trust you are well? 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Hey, Yuri. Been a while. Master Leon, I'm glad to hear from Riel that the missing scions have now been found. Yep. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we? Of course.
I bid
Oh,
you
shit.
welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Carteneau, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
Like he wins no matter what! Very cleverly executed, wasn't it? Yeah, Alfino's putting it together. That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Right? Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich! Master Alfino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alize, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Leon for serving as our escort before other duties called for. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Hiding over there in the back. Now, I'll be honest, this time, just like my first time through this, I did not notice her hiding behind that. Well, she wasn't even hiding behind the tree, she just blended in somehow, just by being so far away. I was just like, whoa! When she walked forward, I was like, holy shit! I didn't see her standing there, she was leaning up against it. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mr. Sucre. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard's support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. Yeah, you did kind of take everyone off guard with that. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seeds here to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? I like Alize. She sees it the way I do too. It's all Jesus. I think most people see it this way. It's just all the formalities, man. Jesus Christ, the way like politicians have to speak to each other, like so many words just to say something as simple as that, just to like maintain their status in a way. It's so weird and just overly formal and unnecessary. That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Yeah, I know, so much clutter. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Savage. I like it. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, you agree? Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papalymo and Ida fared in their talks with the Sylphs. Not to mention what has been going on at Belsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. There you go. Even now I am astonished by how closely Mistress Alisaie resembles Master Alphinaud. Their very mannerisms are alike. From a distance, I should be hard-pressed to tell one from the other. Until they open their mouths, of course. That happened to, what's-her-name from one of the Warriors of Darkness. What was her name? It was Julam, or something very funky. I heard Ardbert say it once. I only know his name because Gladiator said it once. Well, he said Ardbert, yeah. Welcome back, Leon. I don't know about you, but I'm heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? Alisaie would hate the internet, especially Twitter, in today's age, if she was in this world, wouldn't she? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. Yep, that's how I feel on the internet and Twitter sometimes, yeah. People try to take anything you say, anything, and twist it to make you sound, you know, like you had different intentions than when you said it. So, I totally understand that, yeah. It used to just be in politics where that happened, but now it's anywhere on the internet where anything is discussed ever. Which is very tiresome and annoying. So yeah, I get that completely, I would say. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Damn. Was he that lazy before, or what? Okay, didn't change what she said. Griffin, Griffin on the wall. Really? A Snow White reference? Okay. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Okay. Ah, you have returned from the council. But what of Alphinaud? Did some other matter require his attention? Well, yeah. Sort of. Ah, there he is. Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Cryo. How's Naga doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Totaro is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously... One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. One does not lightly, not simply, lightly. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Belsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Ala Mhigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. Yeah, I think that's what he said. I went a little fast there. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. Well, obviously. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve... will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kyle and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Leveilleurs? Or what of you, Leveilleurs? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, it would seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Leon? Gridania will be safer for your presence. And, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? Yeah, of course he didn't like that. To hold the fort, you mean? Very well. I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. Well, there we go. I guess we don't actually need a coordinator after all. We all know how to work in synergy. Already. It's like almost second nature. Fuck, I realized when I ran in back in here I forgot to talk to everybody. To see if their dialogue changed. Obviously theirs did, but... I mean, these people over here. Oh, they look like they're still stuck in the same spot. Yeah. Okay, they haven't. Good, we didn't miss anything. This little side story over here. I suspect Atara would have little trouble facilitating communication between our forces under normal circumstances. But I concede she has her hands full nursing that resistance fighter back to health. No matter, my turn in the field will come. Ataru and Kryl took that resistance fighter to more private chambers. Oh, even she didn't change her shit, even though she's right here and can listen to us. Okay. We read that before. Paplimo? I may perhaps have exaggerated my standing with the Resistance a little, but I am confident that I have a reasonable chance of putting a stop to this madness before events spiral out of control. Yes, fair to middling at the very least. I am no ninja, but I did spend some few moons in the Sharlayan homeland learning how to move unseen. Between Yugiri and my humble self, Ida and Papalymo will be well protected. All I'm saying is that it wouldn't be the worst thing if we ended up joining the Griffins' fight against the Empire. I mean, it's gonna happen sooner or later, isn't it? She's probably not wrong about that, actually, yeah. Again, what's up with the little squirrel following Tancred? You know, at this point I think it just dawned on me. I think it's just a reference to the fact that that little squirrel just happened to be in the way of the camera shots to censor Tancred's, you know, parts during that flashback when he was telling us about how he came out of the live stream naked when your stroller got them out of the bloody banquet and everything. And he had to find clothing and ways to survive out in the Dravanian wilderness or whatever. I think that's what it's a reference to. If you remember those scenes where Thancred was fighting naked and that squirrel was right there censoring everything. I think that's what it is. He's got his own little squirrel minion. My fellow shinobi required little encouragement to take their place amongst the Alliance forces massing Gridania. They are most eager to cross blades with the armies of Garlemald once more. Of course they are. They want some vengeance and justice for Doma, right? If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorne Hut without delay. Pizza Hut? Oh wait, no. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Balsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Okay. I've been there before. For a side quest once, I think. What? Can't really remember right now. Oh, Leon, there you are. Come, Amarasai's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We're about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say, 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alfino. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So, which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. You walked into that one. The talking part I leave to you. Sorry, they make it too easy sometimes. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Go shake whatever you gotta shake, Ida. Ah, damn it, I couldn't. Ah, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Lead the way, buddy. What damn sound effect? Starting to laugh at it again. Out of all the watchtowers manned by the Wood Whalers and God's Quiver, Amarasai's spire here is the newest. Cast your eyes to the south. You see that fortress? That's why we're here. Keep an eye on the comings and goings of the Empire's courage. Then that must be the wall they're talking about then. Looks ominous, covered in shade, right? Guess it's going to be a nighttime operation if anything happens. Right now, anyway. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers? You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Okay. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. Pippin! Been a while, mate. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. Hilda. That's cool. If memory serves, I've not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Mewing. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side? Feelings mutual. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Must be a little freaky. Oh, not anymore, it isn't. I was gonna say, it must be a little freaky having to stand here so close to the enemy's borders, you know? It's like you never know when you're gonna get sniped. The sniper rifle from far away just gone. Report! What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault! No shit. That's what it looks like out there. So the Griffin has made his move. Which means it forces our hand, just like we thought it would. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible! We gave no such order! Of course! The wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait! We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. Jebaited. We got. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war! Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos, which means the Ascians must be loving this. I mean, they did help him. Yeah. The eyes of Nidhogg. Leon, we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin. And if we can do that... This shit is escalating quick. It's like watching a fucking... It's almost like binge-watching like a Netflix TV show or something. And you're just like at the edge of your seat when it's very well written. Just TV show in general, regardless of the platform. Netflix was just the first thing that came to mind, since that's where I used to binge-watch TV shows many years ago. I haven't really done that lately, but that's kind of what MSQ feels like now at this point. It's so gripping. It's like, what's gonna happen next? Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Huh. I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Aye. Shit, I guess we're going in after all. At least we have the cover of darkness. Because it's nighttime right now. Yep, shit's hitting the fan hard. Of course, all he had to do was get a bunch of uniforms and then wait for us to gather our forces because of the warning. Like he intended to let Nago escape with that message. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Ala Mhigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Ala Mhigo will be free, no matter the cost. Pretty bold statement. But yeah, we walked right into his trap. Everything's going his way right now. I gotta wonder where you get that. For those of you who watched me play FF12, you'll recognize that mount. It's the one that, it's the one that Fran and Balthier... Sorry, my mind is on what's happening, so I wasn't thinking of FF12. That Fran and Balthier, rode into, Rabanastre? Or whatever, when... At the beginning of the game, when they first made Bond. And then it breaks and you never get that bike again. It sucks. Sir, as per Marshal Tarpin's orders, we will provide a feint to cover your advance. May the crystal light your way forward. Sorry. Okay. From what Papalimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Likewise. Belsar's Wall, now accessible. Gaius Van Belsar made that wall when he first took over Ala Mhigo. He was like, build the wall! And then he made it. Now we're gonna tear it fucking down. Well, maybe. We're climbing it, we're not destroying it yet. So we'll see. Sir, As per Marshall. Oh, okay. He didn't change the thing. It's like before. He said he's gonna light our way forward or whatever, or cover our entrance by making distractions. There we go. Marking the border between the Black Shroud and Giribania, the legacy of Gaius Van Belsar is a towering monument to imperial tyranny. You said it. And now smoke rises from its iron crenellations? That's a new word to look up. In a bid to drag the armies of Eorzea into the struggle for Alamegan liberation, the Griffin and his resistance fighters have disguised themselves in Grand Company uniforms and laid siege to Belsar's wall. While Alphino seeks to call your companions back from their now meaningless mission of diplomacy, you must ascend the war-torn fortification by the swiftest route possible and persuade the Griffin, by force if necessary, to abandon his reckless ambition. Can't help but feel a little nervous for some reason. I think sometimes you just get so engaged in like the storyline and what's happening. You get so immersed in it. It's like, even if you've done this before, even if you've fought a million battles before this, you just get a little, even if I am over-leveled and overpowered, I get a little nervous for some reason. Again, I think it's just the immersion, you know? With everything that's happening in the story. It's like, war is never to be taken lightly, so when you're fully immersed, it's just like, you feel like you're actually there, so I do still genuinely feel a little nervous. It's very weird. Especially when you've done this dungeon a million times in roulette, of course, too. Alright. Let's do it. That's true. That's true, Crimson. I think that's part of it, too. Come on. Yeah. It is a harsh reminder that you are killing people, yeah. Oh shit, they were dead. I overestimated that pull. Door's locked tight. Oh, they dropped the key and I didn't even notice. It's been a while. I have done this dungeon a few times, but it's been a while. I couldn't read what he said. He said they breached something. Can I mention real quick, this is one of my favorite dungeon theme songs. The only one after this is the one that takes place, like... The only one I like similar to this, or pretty damn close, basically, is, the one that happens right before the next expansion, actually. The one that follows this one. That's an amazing theme song. Alright, I should pay the fuck attention to what I'm doing. Impossible, that was the latest design. Well, wasn't enough. Oh shit. go. Again, when you do content like this unsynced for once and not like in a party like during a beauty roulette, you actually can take the time to appreciate the surroundings. Quite nice, actually. Damn, they're really trying hard to take my ass out. This elevator just keeps taking me to more assholes. Oh, it's not really an elevator, is it? We're moving horizontally. Alright, we're finally out of here. Armored weapon. Nice description. Bring it on. You won't be that much of a pushover. That one hurt. Motion tracking activated? Oh, it didn't move, so I guess it worked. Structural integrity compromised. Initiating withdrawal protocol? I always wondered if... Oh, shit. Never saw that before. I always wondered if auto attack counted as motion, but now I know it doesn't. I used to actually disable auto attack against that guy whenever he did that. He didn't do anything. I kept auto attack on. He didn't use the... He didn't hit me with the missile or whatever. Oh, okay. I guess I just didn't notice it. Because I thought it knocks you into the air, and I didn't use, like, you know, arm's length or anything to stop it. I was waiting to get knocked into the air from having auto attack on. So you feel then in that case he didn't do it because I never went flying into the air. Figures arm's length wouldn't work for that, yeah. That's just horizontal knockback. It's not going to stop you from getting launched. Upwards, I mean. That makes sense. The Griffin has spoken! Kill them all! Yeah, it feels weird, man. Having to kill people in uniform, you know, uniforms and colors that are supposed to be my allies. It is what it is. slowed me down. What a prick. Oh, there he is. Griffin! We need to have a word, buddy. I have to speak with you. Come on, let's have ourselves a little sit down. We need to fight. Alright. You son of a bitch, you're going down. Fuck diplomacy. It's like, we need to talk, and all of a sudden I see his face. You're going down, asshole. I'm sorry, he pissed me off too much with what he did to Raubahn. You guys know this. I've made it no secret. Here, I targeted him. Let's go for it. I'll give you a glorious end, Warrior of Light. Come, see what awaits you at the far edge of fate. He did the name drop. I'll give him a chance. I usually.
How'd you like these?
What do you got?
Sloppy.
I don't want to skip mechanics, because I want to see if you can survive one particular one he does. It's not the one I was thinking of, but...
I have you now. How'd you like these? Yeah!
Forgot about that, genuinely. Damn! This fight is pretty intense synced, I gotta say. He moves around pretty swiftly, I like it. Also the music, second to none. You gonna do it? I don't think he does it when it's just you by yourself. Just trading blows with him now.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
I don't think he's gonna do it. Oh, I see. He only does it to anyone who isn't his focus, so you can't do it if you're by yourself. I gotcha. So, do you know if it's an instant kill, the mechanic that I'm talking about, though? Oh, okay. Fuck you, old nerd. You've seen a DPS die to it as a healer? Okay. You were the only one hitting it? Oh. The other people were either new or they just decided to try to ignore the mechanic, I see. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, he does an attack where he chains up one of your party members, and you have to break the chains free as the surrounding party members, before he uses a really powerful attack to kill them. He will almost always, I've never seen him do it differently, but I guess he can. He will almost always, in my experience, target the healer. So you have to save him, because then otherwise you're fucked. But so, what I'm wondering is, It's a random player? Okay, it's always just been a healer for me for some reason. Even when I played as a healer through roulettes, it was always the healer. I was always the one getting chained up by him. For some reason. So, yeah, I'm wondering if it's actually, like... If it's actually an instant kill, or if you did this unsynced with other party members, if it just does, like, a good chunk of damage that you can actually survive it. But I've never done this unsynced with a partner, so I don't know. I don't need that. You say anything? No. He doesn't. That is a fancy sword he's got there, though. Cool. Unsynced, you'd probably live? Oh, okay. So it's just something that does a shit ton of damage. If I could actually target him right now, I would just, you know, flaunt the victory by looking down at him right now and take a screenshot like this. What can I say? The dude pissed me off with the way he betrayed, you know, everybody and what he did to Raubahn, chopping off his arm and everything, so... Might be a bit much, but I enjoyed every moment of kicking his ass the first time through. My first time through the story, I was just as hyped to kill him. I was like, it's this son of a bitch! Let's fucking take his ass down.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
Activates first
We
person.
did it! We showed the bastards!
For me, anyway. So I realized that
Aye! Victory is ours!
those key presses
Who
just
knows,
do,
lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
They just activate first person for me, I think. Scroll lock and pause break on my keyboard. I'm not sure, though. Branches!
This is for Ala Mhigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
I was really hoping this guy would turn himself around after the things in Gridania, you know? Way back in A Realm Reborn. What's this fucking prick? Yu Yu Hase's another dude that I wish I could kick his ass. His smug ass look.
Vanguards! Attack!
The robos we fight are twice
Seven
the size.
hells. Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What are we thinking? The Empire's too big.
too powerful.
Hard to watch.
Mighty Rhalgr. Grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Ilberd. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leveilleur.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Ala Mhigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Use those guys as ritual sacrifices.
You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the Calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
Forgot the sound of that. Let's squish. Jesus Christ.
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Timptomati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works! It is time to leave!
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go! The further away, the better!
No! If you're staying, then so am I!
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this! Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
I'll never forget the answer I gave you. Don't fucking die on me, man. I trust you.
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
I'll never forget the answer I gave. And that was it. My first time through, that's what I did. And yeah, Crimson, I've seen what happens when you say no. Either way, it's heartbreaking, but... God, I got so close to... I got so close to actually crying as hard as I did the first time through. That was... I got really close there. It just doesn't get easier to watch that. But, Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I think it's one of those things where the answer you give there is, like, how you headcanon your character. Like, what would your character do based on the personality you have envisioned for them, you know? And for me, of course, since my character is a self-insert, essentially, a normal thing that a lot of people do, which is, you know, making like an idealized version of yourself or something. I fully immerse myself and think, what would I do in this situation when things like that happen? And I was like, I wanted to trust him. For me, it meant a lot because I started this game in Gridania because my starting job class was a Lancer, of course. I've mentioned that many times. And Ida and Papalima were the first ones I met of the Scions, so it's just I wanted to trust him. I didn't want for him in his final moments to think that I didn't have any faith in him. Even though I knew that what he was going to do, they made it quite clear he was obviously going to sacrifice himself in some way. I wanted to show him that I trusted him to the very end. If it was the last opportunity I had to talk to him in some way or say something to him, I didn't want him to think I didn't have faith in him. So when I saw that answer say, trust in Papalima and, you know, get on the airship and leave, I had to choose it. Of course I wanted to stay, you know? I didn't want him to die, you know, I wanted to be able to do something, but I know this game it's not one of those where you can drastically change the story from your choices and stuff like that. I know it's just there for your own character's development, you know, that kind of thing. It's just for your own, like, immersion to roleplay in a way. So I just was like, yeah, if he's gonna die, I don't want him to think I didn't trust him in his final moments, so that's why I had to choose that one. And then, yeah, my second time through with my alternate character, I chose no and I saw what happens, and it made me feel like shit. Even though it was my second time through, so it has less impact and meaning to it. What he does to you, to get you on that airship forcefully, I was like, this is why I chose the first answer choice my first time through, you know? Because I didn't want him to have to resort to something like that just to get me to get on the airship. This little archer you seen growing up is not leaving you behind? Oh, so I'm guessing you started as an archer. Which means you also started in Gridania, yeah, that makes sense. Did it hurt then? Did you, like, really feel it when he blasted you with that lightning bolt to get you on the ship? So my second time through when I did do that, which is not on stream by the way, obviously. My second playthrough when I did do that, I did feel tremendously guilty. It just made me more sad, honestly. So like, damn. Because it's like, our last interaction together, he was basically scolding me for not listening to him. It's like, I didn't want it to go that way, you know? So I'm still very glad that I made the choice that I made the first time through. And I wanted to reflect that in this playthrough, so that's why I did that. But yeah, if you're still there, Crimson, I am curious, how did you feel when he blasted you like that? How many more must we lose? I understand only too well the desire to reclaim one's homeland, but I cannot condone such slaughter. Yeah, what Ilbert did is unforgivable. I understand why he did it too, just like Yuri. But to understand is not to condone. I would also never condone something like that. That was just horrific. And he even ended up sacrificing himself just to get one more body in there. To amplify the Primal's power that much more. Since we learned, you know, with the Realm Reborn Extreme Trials that, and you know, what they covered in the main story now too, that sacrificing an actual person makes the Primal that much stronger, not just crystals. It has been explained to me what that light represents, and I've ordered our forces to stand ready. It seems we can do little else but wait. I was trying to talk to Hilda, but Papalymo knew what he was doing. I could not refuse him. Every Ishgardian gets taught that the Sea of Clouds churns in the grip of the warring elements of water and wind. Enough to tear you apart, they say. No one's ever gone to the bottom of the abyss and lived to tell the tale. So how did that bastard manage to get his hands on Nidhogg's eyes? Well, our characters never saw this. We only saw this. We, the audience, saw it. More bodies also affects more than just the power of the Primal? I didn't know that. But, let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we as the audience saw, of course, that this was before I went off to play FF15, of course. At the end of 3.3, the Warriors of Darkness were looking down at the chasm where Alphino and Leon threw the Nidhogg's eyes. So obviously either an Ascian retrieved it, because they're not going to be killed by something like water and wind, you know, doing whatever Hilda was explaining. But also the Warriors of Darkness show that they were immortal with the crystals of light they were using, since they were pretty much already dead. So either they or the Ascians, you know, Elidibus, who was working with them, obviously went to go retrieve the eyes, and then we saw Elidibus give the eyes to a griffin, who we now know is was Ilbert all along. I forgot what they said. Let me raise the volume back up. Actually, hold on. I was about to talk to Ida, but I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. I won't have to take, you know. Oh, actually, no, I'm about to take. I just saw the time. Never mind. I'll take a 15-minute break soon, so fuck it. I don't have to go that badly. I can go for another 15 minutes, so. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo's my friend. I should have been there with him. He wouldn't have wanted that, Ida. That's why he did what he did and got you out of there. Well, asked Thancred to get you out of there. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done. Master Louisoix wore that same look right before the end. Yeah, I did forget to mention this, but I did like the, and I noticed this my first playthrough as well. The zoom in on Papalymo's face was exactly, and it was mirrored, it was flipped, but it was exactly the same effect and everything that they did with Louisoix when he teleported the Warriors of Light to safety when Bahamut was using Mega Flare. They zoomed in on him, bright light consumed him as he smiled, as he was sacrificing himself, essentially. Same look. Do you think I don't know that? I know, alright? I know! There is nothing more you could have done. Ilberd caught us all off guard. Even Leon was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalimos strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. It's over, Papalima. It's all over. Leave her be. Nothing you can say will console her now. Didn't think it before. Yep. Turned our luck and change. Louisoir's finest student. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Why does everyone look so grim? Has something happened? Say something for heaven's sake. Nothing changed over there. Twould seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye. Behind the griffin's mask, we found the grinning face of an old adversary. Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual even as we looked on. And tell him everything. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papalima was aware. Thus did the people follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea of clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Which is why what I was saying, it was obviously an Ascian or one of the Warriors of Darkness back then. And mayhap it was the work of an Ascian, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Krile, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the Cocoon of Light and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it, then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. Desire to comfort Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alisaie, shall honor our fallen colleagues through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilbert's accursed creation without delay. The time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. My own grief is as a crushing weight upon my heart, and when I think of what Ida must be feeling, Papalymo's sacrifice cannot be in vain. We will find the means to deal with this primal. All I want to do is weep, but right now we need to hold back the tears and do what must be done. Yep. Are they in the same position? Yeah. I'll check anyway, but I'm pretty sure nothing's developed over here. They don't know yet. Oh, no, they didn't. Yeah. I thought some of them looked a little different. Their positions are the same. But, oh, no, Hori changed with Osher. Never mind. So they did change, okay. Once Ida returns, I'll see that she sits down to her favorite dish. When you feel empty inside, it is easy to forget that your belly needs to be filled. It's very true. Sacrificing oneself for one's duty. Such actions remind me of the warriors of Doma, of the samurai and shinobi who died for our cause. Yeah. I was close to tearing up just from seeing all the, Ilbert's sacrifices who had no idea what the hell was going to happen to them. Just because, the way they were slaughtered by the machines, the war machines. It was just the horrors of war, basically. It's hard not to feel something, for me anyway. Seeing that. Watching them get slaughtered like that. Then knowing what was, what was coming next with Papalymo. That's why I was, choking up really fucking hard and really close to crying there as I got, as we got closer to that scene where Papalymo sacrificed himself. They told us what happened with Papalymo and I... Forgive me, there are simply no words. I was one of the OGs. Colton had greatly admired Papalymo and aspired to achieve the same lofty heights of magecraft. His loss was a terrible blow to the Scions. Yeah. You three? My brother may wrap himself in steel, but he is a man of tender heart. Witness his concern for the pain his dear friend endures. As much as we wish it were different, there is a limit to what our healing can accomplish. Even the most powerful magics can do naught for a grieving heart. True. I have a long road ahead before I match the Archons in skill and experience, but we must all do our part in times like this. Surely there is something I can do to help. No. The obvious solution. Ah, Leon. I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning, we still have no idea how long it will be before... Oh, right! I forget the last patch before an expansion, they actually kind of divided in two. So that was actually the end of, 3.5. And then this is 3.56? 3.56? So, people still had to wait a couple months before the next half of the last MSQ before the next expansion happens. That's why she's speaking like we haven't seen each other in a while. That was sort of... shit, that was my opportunity to take a break. Well, I'll just take it after this dialogue is over. I can't go back. I was like, that was my opportunity to take a fucking break. I'll do it after this is over, I guess. After this dialogue. A communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Oh, that's kind of cool, because at least it gives you, like... It gives you a chance to mourn and talk about what happened with everybody else who's, like, at the same part of the story as you, you know? What happened to Papalymo. In this case, but I know every expansion does that. They have that little... They break in half the last MSQ before the next expansion or whatever. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Ystola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. I think they also show that they would also show the trailer for the next expansion before we actually got the last little chunk of MSQ, right? Something like that. At least I think that's what they did for Endwalker. If I remember correctly. They dropped the trailer like in one of their live stream events or whatever, shortly before they give us the final little chunk of 5.5. Anyway, they wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Ystola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Cid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. Alright, so the break I should have taken, I'll take it now, I guess. Oh, wait, we got one more scene. What's about to happen here?
A word, if you would, good sir. This place. It is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Holy shit, he's got no chill.
Hey? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port.
Ballsy motherfucker. On a boat that small? Shit.
Though, it would perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order.
We've all been there.
I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
I was waiting for that. Absolute faceplant. Not even one step, dude. Just bam.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
There wasn't even a sail on that boat, man. It is quite a miracle that he actually made it all the way here. You know? Considering how far he came, it's... on a tiny-ass boat like that. Jesus. Anyway. I'll stay in here while I AFK. Yeah, this works. Alright, so I'll be right back, as usual, when I take my breaks. About 5-10 minutes, so... BRB, y'all.